Sent it on.
This meeting is being recorded.
Do you have the okay, one second here.
Hey, Kerwin, how are you?
Good, brother, and you?
Good, man. Thank you. I had a quick question for you. Earlier, you said above 1970. If we get a closure above 1970, then you would go for buys pushing up. But we have our previous day high at 1872, so it might reject there.
It might reject, but at that point, the one that you're basically playing with is the New York volume. And
Yeah.
also for that specific entry, I wanted this 15-minute candle to close bullish. But if this candle is closing bearish, then there's no point for me taking that risk still pretty early in the session. Still pretty early in, New York session hasn't opened. We may get lucky that based on how the hourly candle is closing, you may have a pullback on the hourly and the new hourly candle goes back and retest this area and break above this area. But at this point, it's still trading in a range. And, I'll be waiting for candles to take a breather. The one that I was looking for is if the 15-minute candle pull liquidity, because at that point, you need to trust that if the liquidity is there, that liquidity has to go somewhere, at least to retest these areas of rejections, from this area. And you have to be clever, right? If this 15-minute candle was giving you the way this candle is behaving, the size of the candle is really important. This candle right here giving you that quick push. If this is a valid support in the 15-minute candle, the next 15-minute candle can do exactly what this candle did. Like a retest, closing bullish, and then you take the next 15-minute candle to retest at least the resistance. But we already know that when New York volume is kicking in, usually you get the push of the 20 pips from New York, and if it's breaking the daily high, you have a spare change from there, like an extra 20 pips somewhere like this, for example, at least going to the 73. So that's all. Looking for something outside this area, you have like 20 pips more outside this area, basically. So that makes it to the maybe the 74, 1874 can be the target. But the way that candle is closing, it's not fun. Like, for example, having a target from this area overall, like if this candle will give me that bullish close, then I'll be planning something like this, for example, giving the risk to the last area that this candle did the low, because if you have to trust that liquidity, this area is the one that needs to be respected. If the body of the candle is closing really nice and a bullish candle with rejection, but at that point it's not. At this point, it's not giving me that. All it's giving me rejection from previous hourly candles. Basically, this area right here is the area you need to pay attention. How price will manage to behave in those previous rejections. This one and this area of rejection right there. When there's momentum in the market, you will notice, like, for example, see that 30-minute candle right there. A 30-minute candle can give you a retest to this area, as well can give you heavy pullback. Still trading in a range, and the 30-minute candle, since this candle tried to take a breather to retest the daily high, all you're getting is rejections. So it's just plain and simple range. You don't trade the range unless you have a small risk and the reward is good enough. In my case, trading this range, there's no risk reward for me. There's nothing that it can tell me, no, man, just for fun, try to catch 10 pips in there. No, my job on a daily basis is looking 50 plus, so my risk reward is worth it. Other than that, trading for 10 pips is not fun for me.
I agree. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, let's pull up that.
Someone else was asking a question before me. Yes, I didn't mean to hijack the mic.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. Let's check that this trade right here. Okay.
Yes.
First.
So I had a sell stop right below there, as you see it, and the price tagged me in before the 4-hour closed. So before 9 p.m. I mean. And I got caught with that pullback. I reduced my entry. I also had a smaller entry than usual because I
Mhm.
knew it was a little bit risky to have an entry there.
Okay.
And I closed it even earlier than my actually stop loss. And just afterwards, just right as I saw that 5 minutes closing a strong bearish, that was just a clear
This-
entry. I entered, yes, exactly. Right there where you have the mouse, I enter there, and then I had another entry as it broke the low again. So,
Mhm.
but like 2 full entries instead of my smaller entry. So it was pretty good. Still made like 3% at the end of the night.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah, it
good.
was very good actually.
That's really good. Close the trade follows over a sudden spike down. I just instantly closed. Okay.
Yeah, that was the thing because it moved so fast. I was just like, oh fuck, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Okay.
and yeah, but it would have hit my initial TP anyway.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, you had previous rejections from this area. This is the rejections we talked on the daily outgrowth thing. I'm not sure if we talked about this or the 60.
Who's gonna bring you back to?
Yeah.
Hey,
I was at the trade.
Kerwin,
Yeah. Mati, go ahead.
if you go to participants, if you click participants and scroll all the way to the bottom,
Mhm.
you can mute everyone on entry. If you click the more, you'll say
Mhm.
more at the bottom right, and it should say mute upon entry.
Okay, let me go all the way down here. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Allow participants. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you, brother.
Yeah, no worries, man.
I
And good
usually
morning.
do the mute all and
How's it going, Matt? How's it going,
Good.
Carmen?
good, brother, and you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, I think mute all only mutes them, the ones who are already in the meeting.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah, so that should be better now.
look at that rejection right there again.
And good morning, Trav.
Morning.
Yeah, it's not there. Yeah. So yeah, any plans for you guys? What are your plans? I want to hear from you guys. Don't be shy. Just let me know what you guys, if you want me to pull the daily 4 hours, whatever. Let me know. Uh-oh.
I think at this point any risk is very risky.
Guys,
We can either
respect
get buys above 1871 or just sells below 1865. Besides that, I think it's too dangerous.
Sorry, man. Who's maybe Jesse, the one who's screaming? There's a baby right there. Really sorry.
It's fine.
So, yeah, I mean, man, it's just a hell of a risk.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't look good. It looks messy. So either buys 1871 or sells
Yeah.
1865.
Yeah,
That would be the only thing I'd be looking for right now. That's it.
yeah.
I think you're just going to see this market range until 2 p.m.
I
Probably.
think so. I think so. Maybe a crazy spike, let's say from 10 a.m., like maybe getting quite kind of priced in before the news. But at this point, anything that you can take in here is guessing. Is the market is not giving you any information. Like it's guessing.
I know.
Bearish candle, bullish candle. Now this one will try to retest this candle right here and stay inside this area. Every time the price is moving, it's just creating a nasty area of rejections. Man, it's messy. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to waste your bullet. If you have to risk anything, risk it for the FOMC, man, just for fun. Drop, let's say 0.5 of your, just drop 0.5 of your account, whatever, and let that trade run. But at that point, you will have better confirmation. You will have the 4-hour candle from New York session. You will have the 4-hour candle that is closing at 1 p.m. And that candle from 1 p.m. is the candle that will give you a better understanding. In this area, no, it's a no trading zone. For me, at least, no. I'm not interested in catching tops or bottoms in this area right here. I say if you want to play the range from this area. Look for fake outs and then a possible continuation to the downside. But at that point, no. Like, for example, that rejection right there, I was measuring that rejections to use that as a possible stop loss somewhere here, like 17 pips or so, aiming for the bottom of the range, but it's not there. I mean, at any given point, this candle may reject there and then closing again in this area, just pulling
Yeah.
liquidity because the previous hourly candle closed bullish. So you don't trust the lower time frame here going against this bullish candle. That's all. Even though the rejections are coming slightly lower than the previous one right here. But it's New York session. At any given point, this candle can give you a push and retest to this area right here. And it's not fun. It's not fun.
You think we'll see a push to the upside before the FOMC?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
There's a huge chance for that daily high to be retested again before anything else. You know, like going to retest this daily high is a must in my opinion. Yeah.
We have the
Yeah.
red folder in 10 minutes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
So-
ADP.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much that'll affect it, but
it will.
yeah, I'm not
It'll
really
bring,
looking to
it'll
trade
bring
right now.
volume.
It
bring
will.
volume.
Yeah.
Are you going to be trading FOMC, Kerwin?
Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah, I'll be here. So if you
Okay.
guys have time, if you guys are free, you're more than welcome to join the conversation. But you will notice every time that FOMC is happening, we tend to have, you know, confirmations before the news. We have confirmations on 4 hours, and the news tend to follow the 4-hour candle direction. As well, you have the Powell speech later on, which is, in my opinion, safer to trade. That's the safest option, trading Powell speech. Because at that point, the news already did whatever it wants to do, like a liquidity or maybe rejection from a high at any given point. If the continuation is to the downside, then you should need to pay attention to lower timeframes and price action. Usually when FOMC happen, what it tends to happen is that, you know, not that it will happen the same today, but what used to happen is that, let's say you have something like this, for example, you have a 4-hour candle that creates a range. Depending the body of that candle, you know, let's say that's a bearish candle with something like this. If the next candle in the 5-minute candles, right, a new 5-minute is trading, this is a bearish candle. This is a bearish candle, rejected. If any 5-minute candle is pulling liquidity like this, you can easily have your low from that specific candle right there and trade on top of this candle. You need to be, I mean, it's crazy, but you have to be really quick on your magic keys on your terminal to close positions, to manage your position, because that candle can do a heavy retest. The moment that retest is done, in some cases, I'm entering in these specific levels and all, because maybe this candle is giving me more of a rejection than a continuation. But at that point, the moment that candle is pulling back to this area and then reversing completely and it start breaking that high, I go from this area a little bit higher, basically a 5-minute candle top that may be at the, let's say at the 70, then I will be entering at the 72 and then risking like 30 pips with the 69 as a possible stop loss right there, because the moment that the candle is doing that low and breaking that high, this low, you're not supposed to see that low anymore. That low right there is the retest to the previous 5-minute candle confirmation. In that case, if the 4-hour candle is giving rejection, right, and you're planning for buys with Powell's pitch, and then what will happen is at the top of that candle right there, every candle from there, it'll start doing something like this, creating new higher high, something like this. But at that point, you have to be really careful, because your stop loss will be in this specific area, and no matter what, you need to hold your pants, and you need to be accountable for your actions, and you need to hold that position if you want to see a bigger picture. Some cases, unless you have rejections areas from the left hand side, then you need to secure most of your position. But usually the first 5 minutes of the news is the one who drive price a certain direction. That 5 minute tells a lot. If that 5 minute goes down heavily in close like this, most of the time that low, you're not going to see that low anymore. From there, yeah, you may have a retest, and then you try to enter at the retest, and then or after the retest is been completed, you try to enter on top of that candle right there and go from there. And then yeah, there's going to be craziness sometimes, and sometimes it's just plain and simple price action. If it's having a long rejection like this and the next candle is doing something like this with no bottom wick, You enter at the third candle right here, and you're expecting that the third candle will do exactly what this candle did. No bottom wick, no top wick if it's for sales, no top wick, and it's just every time that a 5-minute candle opens, you just need to pay attention to the clock, to the counter, and then every time that counter is going to zero in a 5-minute, go from there and go and go and go, and it can be really easy, but you need a lot of understanding from the lower time zones at that point. But obviously I'll be here, so you guys will see how price behave at that point. From previous data, for example, let's pay attention, a previous 4-hour zone from pre-FOMC, this one right here, this baby right here. It's likely, yeah, this one right here. At that point, this one was plain and simple, easy FOMC. That candle right there is driving with New York session. This is the stuff that you want to see. Like, for example, the news from, and a little bit more, let's say, or maybe the 4-hour candle closing at 1 p.m. So something like this, you know, this is enough confirmation. At that point, this area right here, the 50 area was being rejected. That's why my key levels, I love the key levels, and I know the price is rejecting a certain key level, has to go to the next one, to the bottom area, in most cases, or to the nearest sector that you have on the higher time frames. Something here, the 4-hour candle already broke below this previous support and previous reaction area. The body of the candle is really important. Where do you have the strongest area of support that may be the support? And the resistance, this 1830. Remember the 1830 that I'm telling you about, from the dailies, from the daily candles is a strong resistant area. Is because at this 1830, long time ago, but I was selling the top of this 1830, and the flash crash happened. So I managed to get, I don't remember, it was thousands of pips on that specific trade. Craziness, but you know, it was an easy job at that point. And I know the 1830 can do two things, can easily hold strong support at that point. Same thing is being in this area, or giving me a clean break below that 30, going back to this area right here. When you go to the 15-minute candles here, near to the FOMC, this area right here is already the 1. Then prices start ranging in here. This is the one from FOMC. This one right here. This is the move from FOMC. Let's look for this candle right here. See how this candle is pulling liquidity from this area right here. From there, where is the nearest key level you have here? The 25. This one right here. This is the nearest key level you have. When this is happening, at that point, you have two options. Enter with market order with that specific liquidity. You will need a stop loss like this, aiming for something like this. Is it worth it for you? I think it is worth it, because at some point you don't have only the drop to the key level. It goes for $10 from the previous key level. So overall, you're aiming from 1830 to the 1820. And when the moment comes, the price is going to a certain key level, you need to be, you know, really quick in your fingers and close partials and let the rest run. This area, since this is the high that is being rejected, this area, the heaviest pullback you may find, and the easiest area that you can enter on that pullback will be somewhere here or somewhere here. And at that point, your risk reward is even better at that point, because in this specific area is when the liquidity happened. And this is why, if you go to, maybe if I pull up the 1 minute, they're not gonna pull up so easily. So from this area, when price is giving you that confirmation, price goes to this area. In most cases, this is the first thing that it tends to happen. Let me pull the 1 minute. Hopefully it works. Yeah, it didn't. So, but obviously every time, let's go back to that specific move. This one right here. This one right here. So let's go to the 5 minutes here. So when price is moving a certain direction, like for example, already picking liquidity from those specific areas, all you need is continuation of this candle right here. This is the candle that is closing at for pre-news right there. This is the pre-news candle. So what happened is in the first push, it tends to retest this area and then it start rejecting. And if it's breaking that low, then you have to go for it no matter what. Sometimes it's just a plain and simple push through the previous rejection area into the resistance and then goes back to this area, come back, retest that high, and then you can easily, you know, make a lot of profits in there. This move happened, then came back. See how this area right here? This is the area that you want to start selling when price is reversing to that previous rejection or up to this area right here. Why? Because the news will give the following for this specific area. The problem is that retail traders tend to sell in this area with sell stop. And what may happen is that you get slipped by, the slippage can be crazy, 20, 30, 40, name it, you will get it. 40 pips in a slippage can be really easy when with heavy news. So what it tends to happen is that you get your entry, it's somewhere here. And you don't pay attention, you're not patient enough to wait for this candle right here, the news candle, to close. When that candle is closing, then everything becomes easier because you wait for pullback. In some cases, you wait for pullback, and when the pullback is completed, in most cases, you will have a candle that may be looking like this, for example, is going bullish, and all of a sudden that candle from the opening is reversing, and if it's breaking this area, when that candle is breaking this area, no matter what, have your, you know, your stop loss maybe 20, 30 pips in somewhere here. And at that point, if that candle is doing something like this, that candle won't stop until it reach a new key level. Most of the times, something like this. From this area to this area, they're like 100 pips in volume. You know, so if you don't manage to get the 100, you manage to get 40, 50, but at least you're learning, you're earning experience how to trade those specific fundamentals. And it's almost every time that fundamentals are behaving like that, it will be basically the same. That specific area is the area that you want to sell. That area you don't get scared of because of that. No, you will see how easy, and then later on you will have the information with the 5-minute candles leaving this specific area, for example, and that's even easier because at that point is the retest is done and the price is leaving this area. You have one of the most easiest jobs in the world, trading that specific news. But it's really easy getting confused and, you know, with those fundamentals if you don't have experience enough to trade those fundamentals. Can be tricky, can be hell of a risk, and it's, you know, it's not worth it if you don't have experience. If you're not trading with somebody who can tell you the things before they happen, don't do it. Look what happened here. This is good. The break will happen now. Let's see. Yeah, but the risk is not worth it, to be honest. That's hell of a risk. No way, no. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah. It's too much of a risk for that trade. But the break will happen because of this rejection right here. And the only area of contention you have at that point is this area, bro. Yeah. Crazy, man. It is what it is.
It's that wick from the 1870 that was kind of obvious, you know, we're grabbing liquidity from up there, we rejected with the long wick. It was kind of saying the next candle is going to push down.
Yeah.
But obviously we need to close below 1865.4.
Yes. This area right
anything
here,
above that, I think, is not worth it.
But at that point, at this point, basically, is respecting the high of the hourly, it's breaking the hourly low. And at that point, if it's leaving this area right here, can give you options toward this area.
Yeah.
It's just that in this range, the risk reward is not worth it. It's not worth it, man. It's way too much of a risk. But it may play out.
Do you mind putting the 15 minutes?
The 15 minutes here.
I was looking. I have a level here, basically. And one sec. And I was hoping for a candle to close below, pull back a little bit, and then I can execute to take it down, probably to here, because I kind of let myself ignore all of that. I kind of ignore it because it was Asian and it was ranging there, so it doesn't really bother me. now that we're coming with lots of volume.
Yeah.
Am I doing something right though, or no?
Yeah, it's valid. The only way you may consider that entry is because you're planning long term. So you're planning those news, the price will give you a break below that 61, and then at that point you will have an easy entry in this area, aiming for this target overall. And if gold start to move from now on until the news happen, we can easily go back to the 55 before the news. And that's all. That's the only reason that trade may be valid. Other than that, it's a hell of a risk. It's 30 almost 30 pips in a stop loss there to be kind of safe, to give a little bit of room for that trade to breathe. But the only one right here is leaving this specific area. This is the contention you have. If this 5-minute candle managed to close bearish below that area, you have the 65. It's in this specific area right here. So that 65 roughly there. So that 65 giving you a close below that 65, a maximum pullback will be the 66.50, basically this area overall, somewhere here.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think, if you have to risk it for the biscuit, try something like that. But since it's in a range, anything can happen here, like a crazy rejection or a crazy move to retest these lows. I won't be surprised if gold go back to retest these lows right here. Still pretty messy. The only way that the only reason that what I like this trade is because of that rejection with this candle right here. That's the only reason. This candle right here rejecting that area, and is a no-brainer. It has to go somewhere. That liquidity has to go somewhere, and most likely this is the only contention area you had, and overall this is your target. But I didn't want to consider that entry because of the risk reward is too much.
Stop loss would have had to go above 69, right? Like if the entry is here, stop loss would have to go here, right? Like this is the only valid, right, stop loss. Kerwin?
Yeah, give me 1 second, guys.
Sorry.
Hello?
Yep.
What was that, Tom? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm saying for a valid entry, like a good early entry could have been here, but the valid stop loss, the only stop loss I could figure would be here. Above 69, basically.
Yes, exactly that. And even this specific trade right here is not worth it. See how the risk reward is there? Is a mess. It's not worth it. It's 27 pips in a stop loss right there.
So why, Kerwin, why we don't get it with impulse entry from here? This is my position actually. And
you got an impulse entry?
Yes.
Where was your stop loss at that point? I mean, where did you plan to have
here,
it?
but it was half of my risk.
Okay.
And like I got 15 pips secured.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. No, if you secure.
I mean, why not? If we are in New York and we have the volume, why we don't get these moves with impulse entries?
Okay. Yeah. I didn't want to take that trade personally. I didn't want to consider that trade for myself because at that point, having a rejection from there, I know that the nearest rejection is there is like a 10 pips, whatever, leaving that area. But I will have to be willing to risk this entire 30 pips or so because price can easily give me, just a break, come back, rejection, start, just playing in here. And if I'm entering in that position, at least I will need to give the chance for that trade to breathe until the 8:30, like for example, from in 4 minutes. If you took that entry right there and now you can have a stop loss somewhere here, that's perfect. This area right here is perfect. Why? Because if the 30-minute candle can give you a retest, that retest should not exceed the 66.5 somewhere here. with the 30-minute candle news, but it's trading inside a range. So I think, you know, for the simplicity in my case, I need candles that are closing clean below the previous rejection, like for example this candle right here. But what happened with this candle? Why I don't want to consider that candle? Because this candle is leaving me less room to trade. Like for example, if I have to take that trade, I'll be aiming for something like where this candle is creating that high. If there was a new 30-minute candle and it doesn't have any news, I'll be using something like in this area, my stop loss in there, and aiming at the break of that candle right there. Why? Because at that point, 14 pips, I can raise 14 pips to get to the point of this area overall. And you know, I have to risk it sometimes for just for fun sometimes. But in the case of this 5-minute candle closing, yeah, it's closing below the key level, whatever. You can easily have a stop loss at the 80s, at the 66 somewhere here. I know a new 30-minute candle can come back to this area overall before the continuation, but there's some news, and the news can easily give you a push again to this area right here, and give it in this area right here being your fake out for the session. So it's a lot of things to consider before taking a certain position. And you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't want to get, you know, heavy crazy pullback with the news. I know that if, for example, I will have a better understanding now if this candle managed to close bullish. And oh, give me 1 second, guys.
You know, guys, I think if we have this big move, big rejection from the strong zone here, if we have this move, so it could be good confirmation to break this low here, anticipating to go down with we have NY volume. So this move could be a confirmation to break more levels to downside. And yes, we know we have news, so we can secure or be more careful with our positions.
Yeah. So something that I would love to consider at this point, if the news happen, right? Like having this candle closing bullish. And what happened is if the 30-minute candle do a retest to the 66.50 and I see that this low is not being respected, I will go for it, maybe using a 20 pips stop loss there, and that's the only way that I will risk it for the biscuit. But other than that, this is becoming like a form of fake out. If I don't have a rejection, a retest to this area, and a break below this candle right here, I won't consider anything. You know, this is plain and simple range. I don't want to trust this move yet. If the volume was there, like a smaller candle that I can consider, then yeah, like at this point right here, what are my options right here? Price needs to respect this area well. If it's breaking the low from that low right there, we're talking like 20 pips or so. That will be my stop loss if this candle is breaking that low. At that point, you already have the 30-minute candle who drew price to the downside. If that low of the 30-minute candle is not being respected, then you have some sort of moves to the downside. May happen, may not. You know, you have to consider. But in some cases, these moves right here, they're short-lived because of the news. You know, pre-news, you tend to have a pullback and then rejection with the news, and then start ranging in there.
Hey, Kerwin.
Yeah, man.
How are you doing, bro?
Good, brother. Where are you going? Oh, you look fancy, brother.
No, man, no fancy, just casual outfit, bro. No, I just came home from I had an appointment at the manual therapist because of my shoulder injury.
Oh.
But did you manage to take any trades today, bro?
Not yet, brother. I'm planning still.
Okay.
Not
yeah,
yet.
I'm planning to stay out for today, most likely, because it's this week, bro. It's gonna be a mess. You know, we have ADP, FOMC, and on Friday FP. I mean, it's gonna be a mess, bro. And for the new guys, I mean, just an humble advice: like if you're new, just call it a week, and then you can backtest the price action, you know, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It can be one of those days that you want to chill and just stay out of from taking risky trades. Yeah. Once the FOMC happened, man, the continuation. See how the last Sundays, the last, I will say, last 2-3 Sundays that you guys are already in this group. Every Sunday is happening exactly the same thing. The following from the Friday volume in most cases, right? So FOMC is basically the same. FOMC tends to do the same. Like you have a bullish candle from today, then ASIN session will take over and giving you that continuation. A bearish candle from today on FOMC, unless it's closing with a long wick from the downside, but a bearish candle, it can be easy to trade. And it's you know, it's almost there every time those moves happen. You know, you just need to back test them. You know, every FOMC is kind of predictable. When you already have the 4-hour candle at 1 p.m. in most cases. That's, you know, 80-90% of the times when you have that 4-hour candle from 1 p.m. it's just, you know, try to follow that candle. Obviously, the body of the candle tells a lot. So if it's a rejection candle, is one thing. If it's a confirmation, like a strong candle, is different. But in most cases, that candle gives you better options than trading during New York. This is just plain and simple range. I was thinking of buying the top of this candle as well to play the range, but it's not worth it for me. It's not worth it. I don't want to risk anything in here. I don't want to.
The only thing that I thought, bro, is I thought about sell limits. And just play the range, basically, you know, trust the range, because like I said yesterday, bro, I was expecting a range from 80 to 50 because we had that previously on the left on the daily, right? So we can maybe expect it for this for the rest of the week as well, because we have a lot of news, you know, up and down, just to mess up everybody and entice everybody to trade. But overall, nothing is gonna happen, and next week we're gonna have a cleaner move again.
I think so. Yes, that's the easiest way. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Okay, bro. I'm gonna head out. I just wanted to pop in to say hi, you know, and just have a talk. So
okay, take care,
bro. And have fun, guys. Yeah. Stay safe.
All right, mate. All right, brother.
I have one question.
Yeah, man.
Can you explain that FOMC move again, please? What do you do?
You will have to watch the replay, though. So no, Nina,
okay.
don't get me wrong. It's just that the move from FOMC that I explained it before.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, but that was plain and simple continuation from a rejection candle, from a 4-hour candle, basically. And you know, I did a IG live to talk about that specific trade. Was this one right here, this trade right here. Then we have this 4-hour candle closing below that area, and the moment price is leaving that area is because it will go to this area or to the next key level down here. And the key level we had at that point was this one right here. Was an easy job. Then price started to, you know, the daily candle managed to close somewhere here with this candle right here, and then price pulled back to a key level in this area right here. Give you a form of fake out on the 15-minute candles right there, because ASIN session, you want to trade ASIN session on the 15. And since then, this is specific. Hopefully you guys don't miss that area right there. That's the closing for the daily candle. Where do you have a key level right here for that continuation? Is then the 20 area, which is this one right here, roughly there. And then 15-minute candle going bullish. And this candle is reversing completely. The moment this candle is reversing completely, this is the high for the day, and this is the highest point that price will come back for London session in some cases. So from there, this is specific that specific area is your contention. If you want to take that trade based on that rejection and trading below the 50, it's just bare and simple continuation. This area right here, price. If price is respecting that strong key level, will need to stay $1 below the key level right there. And since then was an easy one, all the way down. Never had a chance to buy gold anymore from there, all the way to the 1800s and even lower. But it's basically the same. It's just that at the daily candle close, you give that candle the continuation of the move.
Kerwin, that's
Okay.
what's happened now.
Sorry.
We rejected 10 pips below like the key level.
Mhm.
Then the candle closed above, and then we've just been going up since.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna log out here, guys. And I might come back around what 1:30, 1:45. You think you gonna come
Yeah,
back?
I will send the link like around 1:45. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys then.
All right, Trav, take care, bro.
Take care.
Okay.
I'll try to cancel job. Like I don't work today, but I'll try to get early home so I can be there. So I can be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, brother. 65.
Kerwin, the webinar from the weekend, is that being uploaded?
Yes, it's up already. Look for
It is?
it's called support and resistance rejections from the higher time frames.
Okay, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Manny.
Kerwin, I posted a loss that I just took. Maybe you can use it for education and
Okay.
explain to me and the team like what kind of went wrong. So that 5 minute closed like significantly below the key level and the previous resistance that we had. And then I entered on the next one that broke that low. And I put the stop loss a bit higher, but it just pushed up. I don't know if that was a misanalysis from my part or is it just news fuckeries.
You know how can you manage that trade easier and not risking that? I mean, did you risk it the entire position or did you close partials on and drag down?
I closed partials and dragged down, and then the rest got stopped out.
Oh, okay. Hey. My player is going crazy now.
My ratio was at least was 4-to-1, I believe, or something like that. So for my risk reward, it made sense, but I don't know why that candle just flipped and closed back above the range.
Yeah, it's doing exactly what happened yesterday, like dropping, and that's why I didn't want to consider getting into that trade because I know that before the continuation may give you heavy pullbacks. Pre-news, the news are they're basically around now. The easiest way to manage that trade, if it's breaking that low, you don't want to see that candle closing bullish. Yes, like with that specific body. And if that candle is closing bullish, at that point, you can easily close 50% in that trade. And if the next candle is pulling back to the low and breaking that high, it's even worse. So you can easily, just for better management, this area right here will be your stop loss. The moment price is not respecting the 66, man, just don't try to hold that trade because can easily reverse completely. And in some cases the rejections happen with news. That's why I didn't want to consider that a specific trade unless the news gives me a small push and then breaking this low. I will start selling, and I'll start selling because at that point the hourly candle is breaking the previous hourly candle low, and I have kind of understanding that if this hourly candle is respecting the high, breaking the low, that means this hourly candle has potential to close bearish in this area. Next hourly candle pulling back to that area, and at that point I will be looking how the 4-hour candle is closing if I want to hold that trade for a little bit longer. But it didn't, it didn't give me the risk reward, wasn't there for me. Like for example, from this area, if I wanted to be a cowboy, like trying to do something crazy here, what will be my ideal area right here, my ideal setup? This candle, the 50-minute candle is about to close. I can easily start selling from there, having a stop loss there, and basically playing the range at least to this area right here. But what happened here is I have previous rejections and I have a nice resistance here. So I know price can go back to this area, reject again, and have me here for a long period of time. That's all. Yeah. But it tends to, you know, it tends to happen that you have those crazy pullbacks, and then you have a crazy move with the news, and all those the moves with the news get corrected later on. So I won't be surprised if this move right here is the news, whatever, and then later on this move gets corrected completely toward this area right here. The problem that I have is still trading in a range, and the problem that I have is still at this specific resistance overall. So, you know, this is becoming form of fake out inside this range. Is not worth it to consider anything. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, brother. But yeah, the moment this candle close bullish, you can easily close 50%. And
I thought it was the pullback. I thought it was a simple kind of pullback, and I saw that wick that rejected from 1867. I was like, okay, that's a rejection. The next one is going to continue down, but it didn't. So
yeah,
it's okay.
yeah, man. That's okay. We don't have to win it all the time.
Yeah.
I took the center, it does him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I closed it at 10 pips.
Oh, okay. Today will be a character building day. What it's Raja called it.
Hey Kevin, good morning.
Morning, brother. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, I have a small doubt, you know. Can you switch to 5 minutes? Okay. I took entry here. I'm holding. So I thinking of securing here or holding a little bit more longer. Is that good idea?
That's good idea.
I closed something, you know. So my runners, because when the candle closed about 1865, this is a fake out, and the next candle wick low and break that high is like a no-brainer on the lower time frame to retest this area. So what do you think? Securing here the rest of the runner or leaving the runner is good?
I would say secure most of that position. This area right here is a strong area of rejections from hourlies. So I won't be surprised, you know, if the hourly goes back here and reject and start trading inside this range. But at that point, if price is giving you a hit to this area right here, then you have to be really happy with it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Look at that 4-hour candle right there. And that 4-hour candle need 15 more minutes. 15 minutes to decide if that candle will close a strong bullish or it will close like a rangy candle.
Kerwin, can we consider this as a fake out to break this level?
No, not really. Not really. Because this area right here is pretty strong on the hourlies. So, you know, it can be a mess. It can be a mess. In the lower time frame structure, not that I like using trend lines, whatever, but all you have in this area right here, unless price is giving you, you know, a substantial move, basically above that area, even this area right here. Yeah. So a substantial move will happen about the 71 basically, but below that 71 at 70 area, still pretty risky in my opinion. Still pretty risky. All that area right there is becoming kind of messy.
Kerwin, can we sell from that area which I marked on in a blue?
If we can sell, I mean, if you're a cowboy, yeah. Yeah. I mean, what is the confirmation you will have for a sell? That's
price.
You know, if price is giving you a break above the 70 and then closing below that 70 again, yeah, sell it. But if the candles are closing bullish, you know, don't do it because price can easily continue to the 75. Or
When your hormones are balanced, and that's.
Or you know, a whatever, a push to retest the previous daily high. But I don't like this. I don't like that specific trade. Selling from there, you will need at least 20 pips in a stop loss, in my opinion. Like selling from this area overall and having a stop loss outside this previous area. That can be risky. Way too much of a risk. Let me go back.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, man.
Like this rainy day that we have like today, if I was wondering if we can change biases immediately after we close one position. Like if I got this sell below here and we came to this 65 level, and if we broke this level and I got this sell and closed my full position and we came back to the half of this candle and we start to break up, can we immediately change my bias and take this buy again with lower risk, or I should wait a little bit?
Yeah, you could
too
change your
low?
bias. I mean, if it's playing in the range, don't get me wrong. If you're playing in the range, yeah, like getting into this area right here, playing in the range toward this area. Now, don't think it's gonna be an easy one breaking this area unless you really have a confirmation there. Because
Exactly.
this is being rejected so many times, and just basically just playing inside this range is not fun. But from this area to this area is only like 30 pips or so. So that's why, you know, the risk
Right.
reward is not there for me. Yeah. But yeah, you can change your bias as long you're not married to the idea, oh, I'm gonna get 100 pips out of this move. No, price goes to this area, secure your position, and, you know, let the rest run. If you get happy not getting back to this area, then you're good. But other than that, can be a hell of a risk.
Kerwin, bro.
Yeah, man. How are you, Pepito?
Just can we look at 1 hour and see that kind of like retesting the support? And now we have like 11 minutes to close the 1 hour candle.
Okay.
What is your like my thinking? After breaking this 1 hour high, it can be a good potential for buys.
It may happen, yeah. The break of the high, yes. The break of this area, and that you will have a 15-minute candle basically closing outside that area. But if that doesn't happen, no, man. This hourly candle can easily reject the area and close again at the 65 area right here in the last 10 minutes.
Fine.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Even breaking that high right there. If this is a valid resistance, this high needs to be respected. 10 more minutes for that hourly candle closing. Look at the size of those candles. The heaviest area you have is that hourly zone. The price doesn't give you a clean break outside this area, and then this area acting as your support for that continuation. Other than that, no. Casimiro, why are you looking for sales? Oh, because of the weekly candle and the monthly one. But I do note that the 50 can act as a heavy, strong rejection zone. But I'm still looking for that continuation. Yeah, it doesn't seem like New York session had momentum today. Yeah. Yes, Amir. It's a good question. Do you think the numbers, the banks, they know the numbers before the news come out? Definitely. Not only the banks, the big boys already. You know, financial info, that kind of information. Those financial firms, they already know what will happen.
Morning, Kerwin. How are you?
Good, brother, and you?
Good, man. How are you? Been off yesterday anyway for the Eid celebration. I'm a
Oh,
bit
okay.
late today.
Oh,
How's
wow.
everything?
Good, brother, good.
Taking, I think, one of those, whether it's risky or not, one of those trade that you're showing now earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
My anticipation was a new candle starting at the top, the rejection area, and once it was breakdown, was expecting to retest previous hour,
Okay.
and I took it from there. I bought it at key levels above $1. That's the only trade I took today.
So you
The risk one,
consider this as your fake out.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I could do that as a fake out.
Yeah, okay. That's good. What's how many pips? The 70 to the 60. Wow, so almost 70. You secure 80. Okay, that's good. Let's see what one right there.
Hey, Kerwin,
Mm-hmm.
why you didn't took that entry in 5 minutes? Even it
Yeah,
was your favorite setup.
no, I don't want to play inside this range.
It was good, expecting the previous low.
Yeah, but it's not, for me, it's not worth it. For me, it's not worth it. Look at that
I
candle.
closed everything at 30 pips.
Okay. The 4-hour candle's about to close. And it's closing like a range candle. What the heck?
That
Very
1
rough
hour
start
candle,
today.
Kerwin.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
Go on, mate.
The 1 hour candle, Kerwin, I mean, that long wick from the bottom is, I mean, if it's liquidity grab and it's closing in 4 minutes, the next one makes a kind of a bottom wick, then pushes up.
Yes.
It's, it's probably gonna break that previous daily high at 1872 and keep going to 1875 key level.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
okay.
if this is look for price action in the lower time frames. If this is a valid liquidity graph, you will see how this candle in the last 5 minutes will take over all these candles right here. And a new candle just open with no bottom wick, whatever, and going all the way up. But pay attention because this area right here is no joke. This area is a strong area of resistance. So it can easily hold pretty strong, for the rest of the session there. We need to be really careful considering anything in this area, even though that liquidity graph is valid, but we need price, the hourly candle closing above this area right here, because if not, it can give you 10, 15 pips and then close below again in this area, like giving you that specific rejection from that 70. So those are the things that we need to be really careful today, because I don't trust that liquidity unless that price is driving really nice and easy outside this area.
Okay.
Yeah. The 4-hour candle is still, fighting for his life. It's messy over here. It's kind of messy. I don't like how the higher time frames are looking. I would love to have, like, if this 4-hour candle from London and this 4-hour candle grabbing liquidity and the 4-hour candle closing outside that area, then yeah, I will consider that candle something like this, for example, to consider that 4-hour candle something like this. Then yeah, something that may look like this, I don't care. I don't even need to use a stop loss at that point. I just want to look for a pullback, certain pullback, trying to entering in these areas right here and aiming for a new 4-hour candle, do something like this overall. But inside this range, no, it's a hell of a risk. I know that hourly zone can easily hold pretty strong till the news happen. This area right here.
Karen, what time are you coming for FOMC?
Like
Your
around 1:45 p.m., like 15 minutes before the news.
Yep, sure.
Mhm.
50 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be messy until then anyway.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so.
You know, I need to call it a day. Yeah. We have a new candle starting now anyway, new 4-hour candle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very messy. Really
It's,
difficult day.
yeah, it's a difficult day. And the range is not worth it because it's too small.
It is actually very small.
Yeah. The moment the candles are giving you confirmations, it's like risking 20 to get 20 and it's not worth it. Yeah.
Sure.
That candle again is closing like a rejection from there. It's closing like a fake out. Now this area right here is becoming your range. Yeah.
So we
I think
call.
I'm gonna make a rule.
Oh, go on, right.
No, go ahead. I was just saying I was gonna make it a rule that on news days, no trades for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I want to ask you, Karen, this you look like a new fake out again in this area where we are now. Double fake out, the area range you're marking now.
Mm-hmm.
Another fake out on the left, another fake out.
Another fake out. And it's just playing in simple range. That's why I told Minnie, the area you need to secure is this area right here. This area is the area you need to secure anything that you have from here. Because it's okay to go to this area right here, but holding that position above that area is not fun. I mean, you're not gonna have an easy job in this range. Trust me on that. Now 4-hour pullback, retest, mostly this area. Then boom, again to the bottom of the range. 4-hour candle close like a nothing candle. Plain and simple range candle right there. The hourly was bearish. 30 minutes. Yeah, support rejections. So pull back here, then continuation, retest the bottom of that range, leaving that 30 gives you options for NYSE, going to break and retest these areas overall. If it doesn't respect this low on the 30, that's the 30-minute candle that will tell the story, the NYSE one.
Hey Kevin, if this 30-minute candle closes above 1870, then continuation will be the good idea for
Yes,
side.
I think so. That can be the one. That's the pullback to previous rejections. If price managed to reject from these rejections areas and break that low, it comes up to the downside at these specific areas of rejections.
for the retest to the bottom of that range, you don't want to see price breaking this area right here, the 68.8085.
I don't like this, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just too tricky.
Too tricky, man. It's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth
No bottom wick on this one, and fuck all of a wick on the previous.
Yeah.
This one can just pull. This one could be just fake out and boom.
Yeah.
New 4 hour does drive.
Yeah.
I look the way this 4 hour open. I know the way many banks are. It's only 3 minutes, but fuck all of direction is showing you. It can go up to the previous week to the top and reject and boom.
Yeah. And reject.
Nah, just sit in your hands.
Yeah. It's easier to sit in
Here
your
we
hands
go.
anyway.
The 15-minute wants to break.
I like that 15 minutes at all. No bottom wick.
Why do you guys say no bottom wick? I have bottom wicks here on Owanda on both candles.
On both candles? Well,
On
it's a
both
little
is-
tiny, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I see them as well, small ones, but
They're
that's
there.
not enough for me.
They're equal weight. They're equal highs or equal lows or whatever. They're six pips.
So
6 pip wicks.
You see, like the red candle there before 1863 in the 15 minute, before the big bullish green candle came in. That's the kind of wick I like before I will take a trade. Because I know that's heavy liquidity got from that area. That was actually did it tap the order block?
The 30 or the 15?
On the 15, bro. 1 sec, I just changing my screen. That's the post I posted there before in the group.
Oh.
Oh yeah, tapped it filled in the gap and it tapped the order block and we got the explosion. Fuck, I should have took it. It's because I'm only studying ICT in free time.
Okay.
Cowboy entries don't work for me. I'm not going to take them. Only my own.
What a mess.
But do you think, Kerwin, we can go up today? I like sells more, but I'm buys today.
I like sells more. I do think we may see a retest to that previous daily high. But it's really tricky, man. This area is a mess. It's a complete mess.
So you're just waiting for FOMC to trade?
Yeah, basically.
But if we go to yesterday's previous daily high, that means we'll get 20, 30 pips extra.
Yeah, to this area.
Not
yes.
always, but most time.
Yeah, maybe like up to the 1882. You know, that will be the one. But
you don't think, I know 1882 looks good, but you don't think we might get 50% of that candle retracement?
On which candle?
The one that you showed there now, where you think we'll go 80, 82. You see, would we not go higher to pull back that red candle 50%, or is it done already?
No.
The red bearish candle there, bro. The way if we hit
this one.
Yeah.
No, the thing is that I have rejections from these areas, so I know that will be really, really tricky at that point. Look, I really like what price is doing currently right now. If that hourly candle managed to respect its own low, look at the 5-minute candles right here. Look at the 5-minute candle. Obviously it's still in the range. The previous candle closed like a bearish one. So what may happen here with the lower time frames is that if this is a pullback to retest this low and this candle manage to break that high, can create that specific liquidity. And at that point, the 4-hour candle will have like a small little tiny wick to the downside. And the moment price is breaking that high, then we have, I can give it a try on that trade. There's still the 70s over here. So leaving that 70 will give me options to have like an impulsive entry above this candle right here overall. But buys, in total honesty, the buys doesn't make sense until we have confirmations. other than that, no.
Look at the 4-hour, Kerwin. Look at how many rejection wicks from the top we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the 4 hours doesn't look like, at least the current 4-hour has to close at some point in the middle of these wicks. If it doesn't reverse and break its own low.
Carver.
Yeah.
Just try there 2 hours. You might like that frame. Just look at 2 hours time frame. You might see a better picture.
No, it's the same. No, it's the same. Rejection.
2 hours. 2 hours look sexier than 1 hour.
No, but rejection. Now rejection. Oh man, no. No. Man.
What about 30 second?
No. Yeah, I was thinking of buying the
Buy it of the guy in our Telegram group, the free Telegram group we have. He sells it $2, and just give it a go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's only $2 for the month.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, he does it somehow through some way he learns. You can do it yourself, but you need like PayPal account, different emails, and I just pay him $2 and it's done in a minute.
Can you send his name in the group, please?
He's on Telegram. Yeah, you need Telegram because he's not on any other media.
Yeah, I'm with you in the group.
What do you do with him?
Okay, I sent you his name. I will tag him again in the group.
Yeah.
He does. You know the way you use TradingView. He does the premium accounts for $2 a month. So say if you want the premium account, like with all the indicators and stuff.
What's his name, Eugene?
Aftush, I think. Wait 1 second. Check again. Where is he? I have him here. Come on, why are you freezing? Where is he? You. This different guy. Where the heck is he? 1 sec.
I remember
I'm
you sent
looking
this
for him.
message in the beginning when you started the Telegram group.
I'm looking for him as well. I'll share my bigger screen.
Oh, they found a shoe.
Oh, he changed his name. That's why I couldn't find him. He wrote in the York now TradingView. Yeah, Ashu 2066.
Yeah, he's here actually.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, he's grand. He just makes the account. He show you video as well how to copy your own templates and everything from your old account, because you'll have to clear your history. You know, the way like on your PC, you'll just have to clear your web browsing history, because if you don't, the new account won't work. Yeah, that's him.
And there's no way for TradingView to find out.
No, but you're not going to get in trouble either. It wasn't done from your IP address.
Okay. I see.
That makes sense.
That's why I don't want to do it myself. You can do it. You can find on the internet how to do it himself. And another guy told me how to do it. I have a screenshot somewhere how to do it. But then everything will lead back to you if you get caught for, you know, what is it called? Scamming, or not scamming, but fraud or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get in some trouble for that, because like TradingView, I'd say is losing a lot of customers now because of this.
Like Netflix, right? You guys heard of Netflix? It is planning to increase their fees because people are using are giving the credentials for different houses. So now Netflix is losing a lot of customers because they increase the price.
That's why that drop happened.
Yeah, exactly that. Not long ago they were increasing price, and it's been quite crazy. So people started sharing, like if you're my friend, I will say, no, just use my password, my credentials, and you can have it, whatever in whatever you want to have it. And then you start sharing the same credentials. So usually when you're watching Netflix, if more than three TVs are watching the same program, the program at the same time, they will block you from watching the program until one of the TVs are taken out. So now they know that many people out there are sharing credentials, and they sharing their username and password, and they're getting less customers. So now they are planning to increase. If you have, let's say, like Kerwin Velasquez have a membership, and now Kerwin Velasquez has a TV in Miami Lakes, have another TV in Washington, have another TV in Miami Beach, something like that, they will increase my membership thing, because they know that I'm sharing my credentials with somebody else. So I'll have to pay more.
Yeah, but
My
you don't need to do,
username-
you actually, what is it?
My mom is paying for Netflix. She's in Israel, in Jerusalem. We have cousins in Tel Aviv using the same username, and I'm in Austin, Texas, using the same thing.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But you see, you don't need to actually share like that. If you buy the family package, if somebody buys that and you just say split the bill with him, you could have up to 5 screens, I think, or 6 different people under that account.
Yeah, as long as you're not watching the same program, it's okay. But if you guys are watching the same program in 6 different TVs, there's no way you will be in those 6 TV. Like using a TV a Netflix right now here in Miami, the other one in Texas, the other one in California, and watching the same program, the same show, there's no way.
I can guarantee you, if Putin was watching it on 20 different streams, they won't call him off.
No, definitely.
No, but what happened, I think, I looked into that. I think they actually made a lot of money on subscriptions over the COVID lockdowns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you see, the greed kicked in.
It was a big boom at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, but now the stock dropped 50% just because of all these new things and regulations, and they lost subscribers, and the stock took like a crazy hit.
But look, them guys can't win the whole time. They made a lot of money. Now it's time to give back to the community for free.
Exactly. But investors like us who are investing in Netflix, they got burned, right? Like
yeah.
Oh, they got burned. I actually watch few people, like there's few people in Ireland that invest in Bitcoin and everything. Like some guys lose crazy money.
Oh wow. Look at that rejection.
Did you take any trades, Eugene?
No, I took trades there this morning in London. That time.
In London. London was clean. Well,
and then
it wasn't a big range, but
I played that smart money yoke with small risk with tight stop loss just to see does it work. I do something like that in free time from time to time just to test it.
Mm-hmm.
I love smart money concept. Like if you learn it from the right mentor, like if you learn stuff from Kerwin, it's going to work for you because you can see he does it every day on the chart. But like on YouTube, there's a lot of guys like they know what they're doing, but a lot of stuff they show you doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like the guy who created smart money concept for me is the guy is ICT guy. He's the father of all smart money people.
Is that what's the name of this guy? Naldo?
No, I don't think so. It's Naldo. I don't know what's his real name. Michael, I think, or something like that.
Michael Hutchinson.
Yeah, that's him. That's correct, Tony.
Yeah, Eugene, I just realised you're Sergeant Wicks or something like that.
Yeah.
I took the same trade as you did this morning.
Yeah, sure. It was how to say. Sometimes I'd be looking at the chart and say to myself, will I take it? Will it work? And then some days I say to myself, nah, it's just not going to work because they go and raid Asian low even lower. But today it just made sense because of the news. And they're going to try to bring price up in London as well to get a good price for later, even if they get stopped out, but it'll still try to do it. And it just made sense. It was only, 30-some pips. Nothing crazy.
I'll close at 10.
Yeah, you better offshore. Look, 10, 15 pips. You're still in profit for the day. That's all that matters.
I'll try some cowboy thing in here, guys. It's, you know, the 15-minute candle just closed, right? That 15-minute candle is closing bearish with rejection from this previous resistance. So if this 15-minute candle managed to break that high, I'll have to put some risk on the table. At that point, you know, I'll be looking for something like this, for example, like possible stop loss 23 pips. It's a hell of a risky trade, to be honest, because I'm dealing with previous rejections on 4 hours. But at least this 4-hour candle for New York session, you know, the next 15-minute candle, which is NYSE, in the next 15-minute candle, NYSE will start playing in this area. So if this 15-minute candle, if the current 15-minute and the 30-minute candle manage to take a breather outside this area, I think that will be the move that can take us to retest that daily high. But wait for price start leaving this specific area right here, because this area right here is the high of that candle. So at that point, if it's leaving that 60, that 69 is because it will break above the 70. And at that point, the 69 area, which is basically this one right here, 69, needs to hold for that specific trade. So taking a trade outside this area, like I said, is a risky trade. It's a lot of risk involved in that trade. Looking for something like this. Overall, the 70, the 75. But along the way, we will have plenty of information. If it's giving you rejection, it may be a risky one. But what happens if this candle break that high and retest this specific area and doesn't stop there? You know, I will have to call it a day and wait until not tomorrow, but until maybe FOMC to consider that trade. But at this point, the 30-minute candle, the 50-minute candle right here, closing bullish with rejection from this previous rejection area. If it's taking a breather outside that area, I think it have a better potential for that trade. This will be the first trade that I'm taking. And at that point, you know, I'm only, since it's a dangerous trade right here, I'm only risking 1% on this trade. I'm not risking 2%. I'm risking 1% with my stop loss in here. And right there. Right there. So at that point, if this candle, instead of giving me the 5-minute candle, a bullish close above the 70, 71, then I need to be really careful and pay attention how the 5-minute candle will behave in this area right here. It's a hell of a risky trade, not gonna lie. At any given point, you're dealing with previous rejections on the 4 hours, but I just want to give it a try, you know, just to test the waters before the news. This may be the one who can take us outside this nasty range that it's been playing on. And, you know, if price is not respecting these 10 pips below the key level, I will have to cut my losses right there. But that's
Say go on the next candle.
I'm in already. I think it was pretty early, but I'm in already. If that candle doesn't respect this area right here, yeah, I'll be closing 50% right there. I'll be closing 50%. I know it's a hell of a risky trade, but I will give it a little bit of time for that trade to, you know, to pull from these lows right here. Still have some potential to the upside. It's just that the 4-hour candles in here are pretty messy. But I like how the 4-hour candle already did a retest to this candle right here. And that retest was done with the 30-minute candle and this candle, this one right here. So I know this 50-minute candle can take me outside this range right here. It may take a little bit more time. As NYSE about to happen 10 more minutes for this 30-minute candle, for the 30-minute candle closing. So there's, like I say, it's a hell of a risk because it's trading at resistance for something that is not there yet, but you're planning way ahead of time. That's all. But I closed 50% on that trade because I didn't like that specific pullback to the low of that candle right there. And the 5-minute candle, which is the breakout that I was expecting, is not giving me that bullish close. Currently, I still have my risk on the table right here, and I'll let it play out a little bit more and see what may happen. But I will wait until that 50-minute candle. If this candle respect this low, I'm good to go. If this candle start breaking its own low in this area right here, then I know that my trade is not worth it anymore, and I will consider to close my position right here, for example, if I had to be really picky at that point.
Kerwin,
yeah,
my stop loss below the previous 5-minute low. I took the previous 5-minute candle break the bullish candle, like 68.8. I took the entry, and now I'm up to like 12-13 pips. So you are holding for long, or you are just a scalp?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, I'm holding for long. This trade I'm holding for long. Yeah, I make a stop out, whatever, and it's okay. Yeah.
Current question for you. So there's a concept that I don't know if it's true or not, but when a resistance gets tested way too many times, it gets weakened, and at some point it's easier to break it. So if we look at the 15 minutes here, look at how many times this 1870 got rejected, and now it grabbed liquidity from the bottom around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and now it would be kind of what the fifth or the sixth time we test that 1870, so it should kind of break it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about this concept, but
yeah, this area right here in the lower time frame, this area this is the low for the 4 hour. At that point, the 4 hour already have a liquidity. This 15-minute candle, you basically want to see that 15-minute candle doing something like this. A new 15-minute doing something like this. And at that point, that's NYSE. NYSE volume is the one that can have an easy job breaking that resistance right there. And gold being, getting priced in or having a heavy pullback to the 80s again before the news. That's all. That's why this candle is really important for me to hold a little bit longer. I know that it's a hell of a risk. Like I said, it's a dangerous spot to trade. It's dangerous zone to trade because it's previous rejection on the 4 hour. And, it is what it is. If that candle right there doesn't respect its own low and all I get is a heavy rejection from there, a candle closing like this, for example, I'll be closing my position if that candle doesn't give me that close that I want, because I know this area right here can easily hold strong resistance overall. And, having inside this range, play inside this range is not worth it for me. I just wanted to give it a try to that trade, thinking that the liquidity grab on the 4 hour, the liquidity, no, but the 4 hour low already was created, and price needs to respect this area. And overall, the 15-minute candle that I was paying attention is this one right here. If it's breaking that high, it's because it will create a brand new higher high in this area right here. But look at that candle right there. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's rejecting high.
Hey, Kerwin, it won't surprise me if this will just be a kind of fake out and go down like this, scaring people to get in, and now NYC open and just you see a big rocket. Seen it before?
Maybe.
Seen it with Ted.
Maybe.
When Ted, I love when Ted says, "Close your eyes and buy."
Yeah, maybe. If that candle break that low, I'm gonna close my position.
Don't be a cowboy.
Yeah. No, it's too much of a risk. Yeah.
Of course, you probably put like 100 lots on.
Nothing crazy.
No, I think we should. We should hold. It's gonna go.
But 1 minute doesn't look good at 70.
Nah,
you stop with your 1 minute.
No,
1
it
minute
looks.
is only for professionals.
Wow, look at that close on the 5. Yeah. Really picky right here. I have to be really picky right there.
Oh, fuck.
I have to be really picky at that point. Yeah.
That is your little NYC pullback.
Really picky. That 15-minute candle needs to survive this low right here. It needs to survive that low.
Putin, let's go.
No. Nah, fucking hell. In my terminal, the 5-minute candle low still being respected.
Yes, same here.
My terminal now is showing we're in 9047 or 8047.
That's just not doing anything here. I'm surprised based on the rejection why price hasn't break this low and go really hard toward this area right here. 4 minutes.
It's only a little pullback before NY. See.
Yep, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not worth it, man.
I closed everything now at break even.
Oh boy.
You know, that 1 minute give me kind of fake out.
And you're lucky you closed. Look, stop loss hit.
Yeah.
No, it's tricky. I was expecting this anyway before the big news. Just whipsaws. Now go down. It won't surprise me. Go down a bit, grab a few cells, people jump on cells, it reverse back again. Gold didn't really move that much today.
No, not really. It's been playing in that range for a long time already. Almost 12 hours.
But as
Are you holding Eugene?
But as Mini Bank says, something is cooking.
Something is cooking.
Jala 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 jala.
Are you holding Eugene?
Me? Yeah.
Same. 1969 is my entry. Look at that wick, bro. We're back in
baby.
blue. We're back in blue.
You guys are good to go. Yeah, that's good to go.
Go, go, NYC.
NYSC, baby.
Let's go, baby. Just
you
little
have
fake
fun
out.
with NYSC.
You know, I'll add another position if it new 30-minute retest the low.
I'm really fine. I close now, Mini.
No, if it retests the 30-minute low, I'll add one more position.
It's tricky, this 30 minutes.
At least this candle have to close about 69.
30 pips to retest that low on NYSC hell. Oh, yes. But you will see how NYSC will take over that resistance. If somebody has the volume to break that resistance, it will be NYSC as well to break that support. They support the 65 one.
This is kind of situation before NYC. Your heart is beating like man. You need a heart sensor. Dun, dun, dun.
High carry buys about 1972 will be clean with NYSE. Yes, this area basically, this area will be clean with NYSE. This one right here. You don't need to wait until, in my opinion, right? You don't need to wait until price is breaking this.
If it breaks the previous 30-minute low, no brainer.
And all you need is like a quick move, 30-40 pips to this area and secure the most to the 75 area. You don't need more than that.
Oh, my alarm.
The alert, NYSE,
damn,
baby.
My alarm.
Now you will see Mini is looking for sales now.
Now.
No.
Yeah, good low wick.
Yeah, good lower wick at this point. Yeah.
Why not? I mean, 15 minutes closed, like a perfect rejection at this level.
It's a messy area. Hell of a messy area.
Damn, you see that candle jumping green, red.
I don't want it to wait more than
Guys, I'm looking for buys like right now, so have that in mind.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I don't like how it goes down now. It breaks some lows, but maybe because it's volume.
Yeah, it's volume picking liquidity. Hopefully, the key area here, you don't want to see price breaking down. Is this one right here? So this is the perfect area to look for entries for long term right here for the retest to that area.
Yeah, I have an order once it breaks the high again at 70.6.
Yeah.
Because once it breaks it now with NYC volume, it should give easy 15, 20 pips, and that's it. At least to 22, I have a level there, a 4-hour rejection.
Yeah. I would love to see gold, rallying pre-news, like going to the 80s before the news. And if it's gonna do that, it will be with NYSE, with that volume specifically, like breaking this high. It will take you toward this area in no time. And then cleaning this area can be a good sign. But if not, if it's breaking this low, then you need to get rid of those buys for now.
So the news we got at 8:15, the ADP non-farm employment change, was pretty bad. So that means, I mean, the economy is not doing very well, which
No, it's
means
not.
that gold should be pushing up.
Yeah, and the only reason it's not giving you that heavy move to the upside is because you are counter trending a monthly, a weekly candle, something that is hell of a bearish move. That's all. But that doesn't mean that we're not gonna be able to see some sort of push to the 80 overall. And I really want to see that push to the 80s before the news, because I want to have a better entry for sales overall for the for the rest of the week. Selling in here is quite dangerous. It's quite messy for the news. Yeah, I know. Doesn't look like it's gonna give you guys that push. It doesn't look like. Most likely it will give you continuation to the downside. Retest that 65 area again.
At this point, it just looks like it pulled back, and before NY they got a better entry and they're gonna dump it.
It's a patience game now.
Huh?
It's patience game now. Just wait for it to break.
Oh yeah.
Hello. Is this me you're looking for?
What was that?
Somebody said hello.
Is this Ted? You're gonna trade. You're gonna come Zoom, Kerwin. On the news, yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking of.
It's messy.
Hey, Kerwin.
Hmm?
I have a secret indicator. It never lets me down.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Which one?
I tell you, no, it's secret. Just mute everybody. They can't hear me.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? 1 sec.
Is it something you eat or smoke by any chance?
No. 68% are long and gold. 32 are only short. Which way do you think it's gonna go?
Just because price
30-minute low.
price action is saying we are going downtown.
Yeah, no, I closed my. I canceled my order and I'm heading out, guys. I hope I'll see you guys for news.
Yeah,
I'll try to make it out on time.
Take care, Toma.
Yeah, see you all.
All right, brother.
Yeah, man.
See you later.
Kevin, I took 8 pips loss and I took the sell on 5-minute break. Now it's like 10 pips and the stop loss is break even because breaking that 30-minute low is no play.
Yeah.
Hi, Minnie.
I'm down basically 0.7%. I don't want to risk anything else in here. You know, because it's messy. I don't, you know, but I do see that price action is telling me we're going downtown. Yeah. These rejections are happening for a simple reason, and his price is not liking trading at the 70, and you know, from the 70 to 65 is quite interesting how price will behave at these specific rejections areas. So if price gives you a close below that area, it's a no-brainer, go for it. You know, just, you know, grab, hold your pants really hard because it may give you pullback, but overall, closing below this previous rejection only have one reason, and it's because it will retest these lows and overall the 50. But obviously, you need to hold, you know, your pants. If you see something closing low, man, give it a try. Because at that point, you know, the 4-hour candles, too many rejections from the upper side and from the bottom side as well. But at that point, that 4-hour candle has potential, you know, if it's breaking that specific low and a body of a candle and the 5-minute candle is giving you a close below that 65, has potential to retest these 60s areas and going downtown.
But need to close below 66.
It needs to
if
close
not,
below the 65, below the 65. This one. It needs to close below the 65. Yeah.
If it doesn't, then still no shorts.
There's still no shorts. Yes.
I hope this is another liquidity.
it rejected 30-minute low.
What? 30-minute low? Yeah, but already broke the low. I mean, it's messy. It's a hell of a risk. That's why I don't want to risk. I'd rather stay with my almost 0.8% down than risking anything in this area, man. It's not fun.
Hi, Minnie.
Yeah.
How many trades you took today, bro?
I took 3 trades, 1 win, 1 8 pips loss, other one 9. This current trade sell was 9 pips I secured when it's reversing from the low.
Hi, how can I look up to you? Are you telling me take only 2 trades a day?
Yeah, today it was 3. You know, NYSE is like the
that's
thing
before the
I
news.
take always.
And in the news, another 10 trades.
Now I'll give you a signal. When it breaks, next 5-minute candle breaks the 1870, go for it. Don't be shy. At least next 5 minutes, you know, next 5-minute candle, if it closes above 69, there is no brainer, bro.
No brainer. That's what Kadir says. It's no brainer. It's no brainer, bro. Go for it because we'll pay, right, Minnie? Don't be shy. Give me some more.
Here we go. Back in blue.
If this time rejects 70, then yeah, come with FOMC.
Yeah, look at how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 11 rejections or so. It's crazy.
It's been more than 12 hours trading in this specific area.
Yeah.
They're grabbing liquidity and orders like mad.
Man, this is just a nasty range here.
It is, man. It is.
I'm just watching for a break on either way, and it just doesn't want to give it.
Price action is nasty, nasty. It's pure gassing in this range.
Hey guys, I'm done for today. See you at the news.
Okay, brother.
Have fun. Bye.
Take care, brother.
Take care. Take care.
Yeah, I will call it a day in maybe in 17 minutes. I'm just waiting for that hourly candle closing. And not because I want to take any trade. I just want to see what what will happen in this massive range.